What up? What up? What up? Hey, you know this, man. We use that intro music, man. I ain't got the song, so I said I don't even want to fake it till we make it. You know what I'm saying, Cody? So we gonna do our own intro live on demand. You know how we get down, baby. So everybody in here right now, good morning, good morning. And we want y'all to look up.
Cause I got the hookup.
Hey, me and Cody, we in the building about to cook up. You know how we do it, baby. We gonna work on that intro, man. But that's how we got for right now, man. We gonna get us a beat next time. We still cooking some stuff up, man. But we glad y'all here. First morning show I've been on anyway, and we don't have many on our network, so it's time to get back, man, to normal hours. You know how you feeling,
Football
Cody?
season, baby. It's football season. That's all that matters. It's football season. We're back. Week 1 in the books officially. It's our first Tuesday post a full slate of football games. Nothing better than a little 10 a.m. wake up call. I ain't got no coffee. I just got a water, got out the cold tub.
Dang. Hey, look, Cody, it's my first show. I told you I ain't ate nothing all morning, man, but I gotta have a real drink, man. Real drink for me. It's 5 p.m. somewhere, brother. You know.
Oh boy, you didn't even warn me. I would have.
I'm sorry, brother. Look, I'm gonna pull some up for you. There we go. There we go. Yeah, man. It's that time of morning for me, man. I feel good this morning. You know, with my boy Cody, man. Good opportunity here, man. You know, get a good old morning show cracking, man. It's my time of day. I love the night thing too, but ain't nothing like the first thing in the morning, man. You holler at your boy. So let's get on some football tips though, Cody. Man. I mean, from Thursday to last night, right? Shout out to the people too, man. Shout out to the people. You know what? Hold on. Let's do a roll call, brother. We got to holler at the people, man. My bad, man. My bad, man. Who we got up in here? Jake, he hollered at me last night, man. 11:32. What's up, Jake? Rob.
Prepared.
Yeah. Jake always tapping early, but I don't be seeing him doing the show, man. We gotta get you on the live ones, Jake. Let's see. Okay, Loco. All right, my man. T-Rock. What's up, Rock? Let me see. Maddie. Okay. ATM. No COVID on our streams, brother. No COVID, man. Let's go. MF Dome. Okay, cool. Mr. Voorhees, my boy. All right, Royal Shade. Okay.
Royal Slade, baby.
That's it. Flowosaurus, 6 rings. Let's go, man. All right, look. We appreciate y'all here, man. We glad y'all here. We glad to be here. So let's kick it off, Cody, from Thursday. There was a little bit of thoughts, man, on that Thursday game. Good old Baltimore and Kansas City, bro. That might have been the best game of the weekend, maybe. You know, let's speak on it.
Well, I think first off, the big takeaway everyone saw was the Isaiah Likely, pretty much. I mean, career outcome. We saw him do this a little bit last year and be a worthwhile tight end, but the expectation of this. I mean, 12 targets, 9 for 111 and a touchdown. And he had an opportunity for a little bit bigger game than that. I did a draft on Saturday morning was it Saturday? Saturday night at 8 p.m. And this cat went 2-11 in an FFPC tight end premium league. He was the first tight end off the board. And
wow.
I tell you what, when I saw that name come up, I go, I mean, you obviously in those, for context, in those drafts, being on Saturday night because the game had already happened, you do get the opportunity to put him in your lineup. It's free points for week 1. You automatically get to put him in your lineup in that situation. So you get a little bit of a boost out of that. But the fact that he went all the way up to round 2 when this guy was obviously going around, 15 to 18 in general leagues is chaotic.
Yeah.
Another piece from this game really was just the pure, and I think, we talk about this one, I think the most maybe is Lamar Jackson. This rushing output, 16 carries for $122. When you have Derrick Henry in there, and this game was tight. I mean, it was within 10 points the whole time. Like Pacheco scored, they got a 10-point lead, but then Baltimore came back down and scored, I don't know what it was, 10 minutes later. So it wasn't like it was a wide margin of a football game where you could have completely went away from Derrick Henry, but they never really featured him. I think they need to work on utilizing Derrick Henry more out of the pistol, more out of the better situation. We know he's not a shotgun type back. He's not a guy that can line up back there 4 or 5 yards off the line of scrimmage side by side with Lamar. Defenses aren't scared of that. Defenses aren't scared of the RPO or the option with a Henry and a Lamar because Henry doesn't get enough steam. But I do want to know what you think about this Lamar Jackson usage because they talked a ton about his weight and all this crap, but 6 carries, I'm just nervous about that. in context of the whole season.
Honestly, I think he only had 16 carries because the offensive line was so bad, bro. And a lot of that is because of the Chiefs D line. I mean, man, they was in that backfield. Lamar was running for his life. I think he wanted to pass the ball more. He just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talked about the Zay Flowers play at the end of the game where he missed them. But if you notice, a lot of those throws that Lamar was throwing, he never planted his feet. He was throwing on the run almost the entire game. So I looked at it as a bang bang play. You know, Zay coming one way, Lamar going another, and he throwing across his body. But the 16 carries definitely was scary for week one. The only thing I can say about how he took those hits, though, he got up every time. He didn't like wince. He ain't say, "Oh man," you know, like every time they hit him, boom, I'm back. Like he ready for the next play. And the usage on Derrick Henry, I think, man, I think it was just the momentum of the game and the Ravens panic, bro. I think if they was playing a regular team, because the Chiefs aren't regular, so if they was playing a regular team, I think they would have used King Henry a lot more how they should have. But I think the pressure of beating the Chiefs and Lamar going against Pat and the game not really going, I guess how they planned it, them being down, they just got nervous. This week though, I definitely see them coming back and let's settle down, get back in the flow. I mean, they literally could have won this game. So it's not like it was a horrible game and they, oh my God, the Ravens stink. But I just think they panicked on their play calling, and I like what Lamar was doing though, man. Lamar didn't really take any sacks. He was elusive. He got out of the pocket. He just needs a little bit of help on that O line, man. That was Wells, noted.
When you look at that Chiefs side with Rashee Rice, who seemed like he was the focal point. He was I don't want to call him like the new Kelsey, but he was like the feature of the offense as far as targets and as far as getting this offense down the field. But Worthy, Rice, I mean, you could throw Kelsey's name in there as well while Hollywood Brown is out. Rice, Worthy, and Kelsey at this current stage, like where would you? I know fantasy season already began, but like where do you think that this offense is going to be kind of? Do you think it matters? First off, like the center point of this offense, is this going to be a Rashee Rice 10 targets a game situation? Do you like the Xavier Worthy? I mean, 2 receptions, 47 yards, touchdown, had that rushing touchdown. I mean, he's electric. We saw this in college, but where do you think this offense kind of rolls out to?
I think the number one clearly is Rashee Rice, and I think it's only because of one, volume, but 2, he's been there. Worthy just got there. Hollywood still hasn't played yet. So I think this offense, unfortunately, outside of, Kelsey tearing down a little bit and getting a little older, I think it's going to run through Rashee Rice, man. He had the receptions, he had the targets, and he looked good every time he got the ball. He looked aggressive. He ain't looked timid or nothing. So I think the Xavier Worthy thing, only getting 2 receptions, I think that's like going to be the norm. It's going to be like 3 receptions, maybe 4, but I don't see him. I'm not taking the over on his receptions at like 5.5. So I think he's going to be that boom bust player, but he's going to be a lot more boom than bust. But this offense is going to run through Rashee Rice when it comes to this passing game. I slept on him all summer, bro. But Rashee Rice is cooking, bro. He's cooking.
He cooked. Talk about cooking. Rashee Rice was cooking, and that was one that like the ADP. I remember the ADP at one point was like, I don't remember what it was. Wide receiver, like I want to say it was like 33, and Hollywood was like right there, like 35, and then Worthy was like 38 at one point this summer, and then they all just kind of like whoop. Worthy went ahead, and then Rice went ahead, and then Hollywood got hurt, and then they both just kind of went like this. And then I remember drafts where Rashee ended up being like late 3rd round in the last week of September on some of those high stakes drafts. So I mean, Rice finally corrected towards the end there, but I do want to say you talked about Baltimore getting that get back this week. They do host the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're now 9.5 point favorites in Baltimore. So I mean, we could see a little. We could see Baltimore cooking something up. I tell you.
Yeah, man, Baltimore. I'm telling you, they after last week, I promise you, it's not gonna be a question, man. I think King Henry, everybody, man, it's going down, man. Let me see. Who was the next? Oh, Friday, right? Friday, of course. How I forget that game of all games? Philly versus the Packers, man. I mean, the biggest take, I guess, is Jordan Love. And I will say, Cody, I felt my heart broke for you, bro. The heartbreak emoji was about to get sent to you, brother. I know you had the whole entire offense is like MVP, runner-up MVP, offensive player, the whole team, man. You had everybody. I even made sure we got Reed on this thumbnail, man, just for you. And yeah, bro, give us your spill, man. You was riding high with him, man, and I don't know, man.
The funny thing is that, like, I grew up in Minnesota. I grew up a Viking fan. My literally whole life, and I still technically am a Viking fan. Like, I went to, I don't know, 65 or 66 Vikings games in my life. We've had season tickets in the family forever, and I've always hated the Packers more than anything in the world. And that show last week in the Hurdle talking about Super Bowl, God damn, what was it? It was Super Bowl picks. It was
MVP,
fantasy
offensive player,
all this
fantasy.
crap.
Yeah. You had almost the whole offense. Really, it was
The whole
Romeo.
offense, Jacobs, Love, Romeo, the Pack, like all of it. And so, like, internally, I'm kind of like punching air because I'm like, damn, the Vikings look good.
Yeah.
Packers look like they're about to slip up for a month. But then the outside, it's like, this is a really good team. And if Love misses a month, what this does to fantasy value worries me, because I liked Malik Willis coming out of college, and that was wrong, right? I can own that. I know that was wrong. And, that's what hindsight is, whatever. That's what it's called Bayesian process. You change up with newfound information. And Jaden Reed got sick. 4 receptions, 138, and a touchdown on 6 targets. But it was 6 targets. It wasn't 11 targets. If this guy had, if you switched the quarterback situation and Hurts got hurt and Kenny Pickett was coming in, and I knew A.J. Brown had 10 targets and I knew Devonta Smith had 8, I'd be a little less nervous, I think. I think I'd be a little less nervous about those guys tailing off, because I trust that passing game and the targets getting out to the places. In this Green Bay situation, I really think that Green Bay has the ability to really just lean on the run and shift the offensive focus over the course of the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever it takes for Love to get back. Not saying that that's going to help them win games, but we are talking about them getting the Colts this week at home. And the Colts did what last week? They gave up $150 to Joe Mixon. Yeah. We'll talk about the Colts here in a minute, but that's something I can see the Packers completely doing and going away. And I don't know if it nukes Reed as much as it nukes, the Dobbs, the Watsons, the Crafts, the Musgraves and stuff. And, Musgrave, good old goose egg for us, 2 targets, 0 and 0. But I do think that it just hurts the whole offense from a fantasy perspective, which is obviously what we thought this was going to be, kind of a fantasy. I don't want to say fantasy galore, but we thought it was going to be a pretty fantasy friendly offense with Jacobs and Reed and Watson and Dobbs and all this crap. So it hurts me to see Love go down. He was 50% completion percentage last week, but I liked where this offense was at, and obviously the Jaden Reed breakout was mega. But this game in totality, watching these guys slip around,
man,
the whole Brazil situation, like, I saw some memes. One of my favorite graphics that I saw float out, I think it was on Friday night, maybe it was Saturday morning, was NFL Iraq. And it was like the NFL in 3 years for absolutely no reason. NFL Iraq kickoff. Yeah. Like they just do this for no reason. Like the fields, they know the fields are shit. If you saw the videos or the pictures of the field on Saturday morning, like the day after, after the night, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Like it's like they put like. It's like they put, like, have you ever rolled turf out? Have you ever rolled grass out before? Like laid sod? Maybe not laid sod, but
I've seen it. I've seen it though. I ain't never.
You've seen it though, right?
Yeah.
And imagine you lay sod. When you lay sod, the sod is not. It's not this thin. It's like 6 inches, and then you water it and it folds together. This looked like they had sheets of sod, and the grass was like this, obviously like turf length. And then they just go, "Yep, we're not going to water it. We're not going to put it down for a week. We're not going to let it stick or they just laid it down and said, go play on it." That's kind of what it looked like, because it was just shredded. And I don't understand a $1 billion company doing that, or $1 billion organization doing that with billions of dollars in assets in players on the field. It makes no goddamn sense.
Zero sense.
That might have been my biggest takeaway from that whole football game.
Yeah, and as far as the future of what's going on for the next month, man, I know Malik Willis is not anyone that nobody wants, right? But me, I trust coaching, bro. I feel like Matt LaFleur is going to try. If they said they're not going to go get nobody else, he already said that Malik Willis is the starter. And I believe it's a reason behind that. They can try to get a Tannehill for 4 weeks if they felt like it, but I think he might believe that now it's still to see. I'm not saying Malik Willis is no league winner, but I think I trust coaching over everything. And
Bingo.
LaFleur will make sure, like you said, and I like what Kip said right here. Put Reed and run designs like Debo. It's a lot of plays that they're going to do, man, on this offense that's going to hide Malik Willis's flaws enough that they can compete. Whether they win or not is a whole different thing. But I always trust coaching, and I believe Malik Willis will be fine, whether it's 120 yards passing and 70 yards rushing. So I don't mind Malik Willis for the next 3 weeks if that's what happens. Now, the receiving targets, that's a whole nother story. That's the problem. One person is going to have a good game. It just won't be 4. So I'm cool with whatever Green Bay got going on to put a Band-Aid on, till the love come back. But the Eagles side, Jalen Hurts had a couple of turnovers. It was a sloppy game, really, but man, that dog Saquon Barkley came barking at the door, man. And I said this over the summer multiple times, man. If that Madden curse is true, Barkley will be a top 3 running back over CMC, man. And week 1, CMC ain't start. I think my boy Barkley, man, is going to be top 3, man. I told everybody, I think he going 1,000 for 1,000, man. 2,000 yards. 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving, man. I might have said it on your show last week on the hurdle, man. But Saquon, 1,000 for 1,000, man. He gonna show everybody that the Giants fucked up, man. So Saquon to the moon, man. But what do you think about that Philly side before we move on to the next one?
Saquon got sick. Period. Saquon got sick. This is gonna be if this is how it's gonna look. I love it because they utilized everybody. They utilized. Hurts ran enough. He could have been a little more efficient. Saquon was great. AJ Brown was great. He's not going to catch every football. It's just not how he archetypes. 5 for 120 is plenty. Devonta Smith. This is what we signed up for. I do think Devonta Smith is taking another leap this year, but this is what we signed up for. Dallas Goedert. Everybody knew he wasn't going to be a target hog. He got his work though. Yep. And I was, probably the thing I was happiest to see was that Kenny Gainwell wasn't forced out there. Like he got a couple opportunities and he was bursty and great in those situations. But I think this offense was fluid in fantasy terms of kind of exactly how we wanted to see this thing kind of unfold. And statistically, obviously Saquon Barkley is the RB1 on the week, and he's got like a 7-point lead ahead of Joe Mixon in PPR, a 10-point lead of Devon Achane as the number 2 running back in all of PPR. But another big thing was this offensive line. Obviously, they lost Jason Kelce this past year.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of a little bit of a question what was going to happen with this offensive line. They were second this week in overall offensive pass blocking grade over at PFF, and in run blocking, they were 5th. So, and Green Bay's not a sieve. Like Green Bay's got young talent.
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness, Kenny Clark, Devonta White. Like they got a bunch of these nice dudes. Rashawn Gary. It's not a bad defense by any means. It's not a bad front seven by any means. So they had a tough test, and they kind of stood up to it. So I kind of like where Philadelphia is in totality. And I was working on my power rankings this morning. I'm going to write that into a little column and put that up on South Harmon later this afternoon. I got Philly right there. I got him at, I don't got him in the Super Bowl contenders tier. I kind of think I maybe should, but I only wanted to put 4 teams in there because obvious reasons, only 4 teams play in the conference championship weekend. But I got Philly as that next team out. So I think they're right there. I think they're in a good place. I would like to see a little more defense, but I think it's fine.
I know. Speaking on the defense, though, before we go to the next game, man, I think they young. I will give them that, but that cornerback room definitely didn't look its best at all. So they still got time to work on it, man. But they put a lot of money and resources in that backfield, man. So they got to work on it.
Philly comes back home on Monday night, 6.5-point favorites against the Atlanta Falcons, who I think we're going to talk about next. 6.5 points though in Philly, I don't think is enough.
Yeah, I was about to say we definitely about to talk on the Falcons, man. And man, listen, Kirk Cousins is overcooked, man. He is cooked, done,
He's
fried.
Cheeked up. He is.
Listen, I could not believe what I saw, bro. Like if Justin Fields was backing up Cousins, I would have wanted him to start over in that game. Just put him in. Like I know Fields wasn't the best on that other side, but he looked better than what we saw from Cousins, man. And
sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh,
but I just want to say, do we owe the Falcons an apology on the Michael Penix thing, or do we just double down on the Falcons and call them idiots for getting Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, we don't want to apologize, man. You should have never did it, bro. If honestly, I feel like this, right? They took Penix because I felt like he failed to them, and they felt like, damn. I don't think they really came in the draft thinking they were gonna get Penix, maybe because quarterback needy teams
So
like
many quarterbacks.
It was, but I don't know. I feel like if you really wanted Penix and you before you signed Kirk, you should have just moved up. You could have moved up 4 spots, 3 spots, and then made sure you got Penix. But for you to do that, it makes 0 sense to sign Cousins and to see what. Now, granted, he is coming off a leg injury, whatever the case, but he ain't getting no younger, bro. And at this point in his career, if he's not coming on the field being at his best, he's only gonna get worse. So when you got guys like Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan, man, there's no reason that offense shouldn't have looked any way how it looked. Now, granted, that Pittsburgh defense is bad, man. That boy TJ Watt, man. Is he the MVP, defense MVP, bro? I mean, can we just give it to him now? I don't know, man. But
dog, if he, I mean, the pace he's on right now, he might be an overall MVP. I mean, I know it's a quarterback award, but like we got to be honest with ourselves. This guy, made this team again. This team didn't score a touchdown, and I don't remember who said it. It might have been that cockamamie Kyle Brandt on NFL yesterday, NFL Network yesterday morning. I absolutely despise that show, but I think he said one good thing. He said every time Scott Hansen said, "Let's go out to Atlanta and watch the Steelers and Falcons,"
it was TJ Watt.
It was a horror movie, and I think that was perfectly said. And again, I am not a fan of Kyle Brandt at all. I think he's one of the. I'm not going to get into that, but you get the point. And he said this. He's like every time that they went out there, it was like a horror movie because TJ Watt was just wrecking people. And you look at the NFL MVP award for the last 40 years, quarterback, running back, every single year, dating back to 1986. In 1986, a man by the name of Lawrence Taylor won the award with 20 sacks. 20 sacks. He was the defensive player of the year and he was the MVP. This is potential because of the way this team is built. There's potential here for him to be in this conversation. There's potential here for him to be in this MVP conversation. That year, Lawrence Taylor he had 41% of the votes. He beat out Eric Dickerson, who rushed for 1,800 yards and 11 touchdowns. And he beat out Dan Marino, who had 4,700 yards and 44 touchdowns that season. And again, like it's going to take a little bit of a non-super elite. It's like Patty Matt can't throw for 50. Stroud can't throw for 50. These guys can't throw for 5,000. But if TJ Watt can break that sack record and if he, let's just, for example, say he hits 26 sacks, which is nuts, but it's TJ Watt.
Yeah, man. Dallas passed on him. I know.
I mean, you brought up defensive player of the year. I'm talking like, I don't think this is.
It's over. I only said that because the quarterbacks, man. They're gonna glaze them, man, like they always do.
That's the problem. It's like it like you can't have somebody like you can't have a 50 touchdown passer. We can't have like a 5,200 passer, yard passer. But like that's the way that TJ Watt can compete for the MVP award. And I don't think it's otherworldly. You know what I'm saying?
And one of those, the one that he got the sack and the fumble, they called back for entrosement. But from what I saw in the video, it wasn't. He could he read the snap like on the dime. So
he's done that for 4 years. He's been doing the same thing.
He already got numbers getting taken away. He could have had, MVP status right now, which he clearly has. But I think the biggest take from just the game in general, one, TJ Watt, but I feel like that offense being as slow as it is going to help the defense be who they are. Because when you got a defense like that, if your offense isn't scoring 40 points and you're not giving up 40 points, it's going to be a slow-paced game. So all the Steelers games, honestly, you might want to bet the unders on a lot of them, man. Defense that punch you in the mouth, Pittsburgh and the Steelers and Ravens type of games when they used to go field goal for field goal. That's what it's shaping up to be with this offense. The far as the offense go is the Steelers, man. I just think Arthur Smith, bro. Arthur Smith, man. I watched this dude literally call a run play on 3rd and 8 with Cortland. I mean, not Cortland. What's the running back? Right, slipped my mind.
Najee?
Not Najee. The Cordell Patterson.
Yeah,
bro. It's 3rd and 8. What are you doing? It's
that's a North Turner shit right there.
I mean, bro, it's like, and as much as I'm a Fields guy, so it's a little bias in the end. But if you look at the plays where he threw big plays to Pickens, man, he can throw the ball in a wide range. It's just you got to draw up the plays. You got a mobile weapon, bro. I feel like he can be elusive enough to open up some passing routes for somebody to throw the ball. And when I watched him throw that ball on 3rd and 8, and I think on the goal line when they had a touchdown, they could have scored on 3rd and goal, and he ran the ball in. And I'm just like, bro, at this point, if you don't want Fields to play quarterback, don't let him play. But you gotta at least give him confidence to say, listen, you my guy. We're going to do this. No matter what you do, we got you covered. And if I'm on the defense, I'm going to go to Fields and say, listen, bro, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hold Kirk Cousins down. Go ahead and get through the bumps and the bruises on week 1. We got you. And I just think Arthur Smith, man, is going to be a big crutch in this offense, no matter who's at quarterback at this point, man. I don't like it at all.
I think you could have asked me, if you would have, every show last week, if you would have came on, you would have spammed me in the chat and said, who's going to have a better game? Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields. Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields. Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields. Who's going to pass for more yards? Who's going to have more pushing game? Who's going to throw less interceptions? I would have never once said that Justin Fields would have led this game in completion percentage, led this game in quarterback rating, led this game in less turnovers, led this game in passing yards. Never once am I going to say that. And he outdogged Kirk Cousins yesterday, which is absolutely maniacal. And I think that's a interesting thing is that I was up there at Steelers camp, and the efficiency was not there. The efficiency between Fields and the pass catchers was not there. He was very erratic, very what we've seen of Justin Fields the last couple of years. And to see Pickens catch 6 out of 7 targets, to see Freiermuth go 4 for 4, like it was nice.
It's doable. It's doable, bro. You know,
yeah.
You gotta give your guy confidence, bro. That's my thing. I feel like Fields never had a coach that told him. If Fields had Matt LaFleur, would be a whole different guy. You know, I feel like you gotta grab him by the face mask and say, listen, you my guy. Go win this game. When you got a guy that you could tell don't trust you, you're gonna play like you ain't trusted, man. And that's how I felt that he played on Sunday.
You talked about taking the under on Pittsburgh Steelers games. They will travel to the Mile High this weekend in a late kick, 4:25 Eastern time, with a 36 total.
Hey,
36.
It might be 31, bro. I don't know. It might be 31, bro. I don't know, man. That's rough, man. So I guess before we close out, man, you got any final takes on the Steelers and the Falcons, though, bro? I mean, we touched on. I mean, I see Dynasty Knob said that Najee is a safe play in the offense. I like Najee, bro. I really think that's what they want to do. They just want to run the ball anyway. They don't really want to throw it unless they have to. So
he looked good.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is like it's nice to have 20 carries and 70 yards. It's not 3.5 yards per carry is not great, but the problem is scoring touchdowns. And that's where the Najee thing might kick us in the dick is that the Steelers are, they were 23rd in week 1 in run blocking. They won the game, but they didn't score any touchdowns. All the field goals, they got one field goal was inside of 40 yards, 25 yards late in the fourth quarter. Everything else was deep, 40, 44, 51, 57, 56. They're not even getting close. They're not getting
But as a defense, if I'm Atlanta, why would I even play back if you're not throwing the ball anyway? I'm going to just press up on the line. And we're gonna stop the run every time. So that's the thing. Like I said, if you let Justin Fields, you got a mobile. If you look at what Lamar just did against the Chiefs, he was getting O-line blasted the whole game. He was elusive. He got away. He threw the ball. If you call some short plays, let Cordell Patterson play receiver instead of running back. Give him a sneaky route out the backfield. He can run, catch the ball, 8 yards. Boom, boom, boom. It's not that hard, bro. We do it on Madden.
Last year in Atlanta.
Bro, we do it on Madden all the time, man. So I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, I believe the defense is going to keep pressing up. Why are we going to play back? Najee might not have the yards he deserved because of that, So,
Yeah.
we're not going to back up, man. So, I don't know, man. Shout out to Justin Fields. Let's get it, Playboy. That's my boy right there, man.
You want to talk about these this Marvin Harrison Jr. situation before we hit on some of these sick rosters that we pulled over from Discord?
Listen, that was my next one. The Cardinals and the Bills, bro. That was literally my next game to speak on, man. I'm gonna let you have the floor. You brought it up, bro. The floor is yours, man.
Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch. Hey, Greg Dortch. Hey, where EV at? EV, no, that's our boy right there, man. Greg Dortch.
Dude, I don't know. The Marvin Harrison video that went obviously viral the last couple of days. Kip brought it up in the chat. He says Marvin Harrison is still running wide open down there, you brought it up, sorry, right there. That deep crosser wide open, right? And Kyler didn't see him because he was looking the other side of the field to Greg Dortch. And then I saw another video this morning of Marvin running like it was like an inside comeback type of situation, but he kind of like the commenter was like, this dude looks like he's running in New Balance shoes, and like because he's literally got like a New Balance.
Oh, but he got New Balance cleats, yeah.
Yeah, like he just looks like I don't know, it looks like an old dude or something. But our guy Trash Man from Roster Watch was up at Cardinals and Colts camp, and he did like a video at the end of practice and never said the word Marvin Harrison Jr. in the clip once. And we were like, bro, like, how do you go to Cardinals camp and not come back and say, Marvin Harrison Jr. is amazing. Marvin Harrison Jr. sucks. Like, how do you not have something to say? And he goes, I didn't notice him. He goes, all they did was throw the ball to Greg Dortch. And we were like, brother, like, Greg Dortch is sick, but he's also 5'7", 170.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he's like just turned 26 years old. It feels like he's been in the league for a decade, but he's still pretty young. And it worries me. It worries me with Arizona because Kyler looked good. Kyler looked like pre-knee injury Kyler from an athletic standpoint. And Buffalo's not good on the back end. They're very middling. And the inefficiencies of this offense, the lack of downfield, focus to Marvin Harrison. I mean, the two longest plays of the day, the two longest pass plays of the day were Imari Demercado on a 24-yarder, James Conner 22-yarder, Kyler had a 29-yard run. Those were the three longest plays. Those were the three explosives. Conner also had a 20-yard run. Nothing downfield to Michael Wilson, nothing downfield to Marvin Harrison. Like, that worries me. That worries me a lot. And then on the other side, I get a surprise out of Buffalo, which is Keon Coleman actually having a semi-decent day.
Yeah, solid game, yep.
With, growing rapport. Yep. That is big. Keon Coleman may be the biggest takeaway from this whole game, but other than the Marvin Harrison thing.
I was about to say Marv should have had what Keon had, right? At least close to it, at least.
I expected polar opposites. I expected Marv to have this stat line and Keon to have a goose egg because what I saw from Keon at camp wasn't that he can't separate. It's just that his play style is going to take time and took time for him and Josh Allen to come together. And it looked much better this weekend. Not saying Coleman's ready to be the number one or anything, but it looked better. And Dalton Kincaid did nothing, which breaks my heart. I hope those targets go up the next couple of weeks, but I will say I will kind of leave it to Arizona practices against Trey McBride every single day. So they kind of have an idea for this type of a player, and that can kind of be excused to why neither of these guys really had great days. But Keon Coleman, fantastic. Rookie debut, 4 for 51, good enough. Marvin Harrison, not so much.
Yeah, and honestly, it's very unfortunate, man, when you looked at, this offense as a whole, man. Literally week one. I mean, they started off the first half 17-0, right? And it looked like Josh Allen and them were done. I'm gonna eat my shit now. I said Josh Allen won't be a top 8 quarterback in 2024. And hey, it was a bold take, right? It wasn't the hot take, it was a bold take. It was cold. It got cold real fast, right? But I feel like in a game like how we saw Sunday, the reason why Josh probably will be, though, honestly, is because their defense is bad and they're gonna have to keep up with teams. So if you look at that first half, though, it looked like they were trying to figure out who do we go to, because they didn't go to Kincaid much, and it was a lot of running, really. Like James Cook was running the ball. Damn, I just said his name.
Ray
Josh
Davis.
Allen.
Yeah.
No, Josh Allen was running the ball. I mean, it was a lot of running plays, and I feel like they woke up, man. Just realized, you know what? I don't think Buffalo has a plan this year. I feel like they coming in like, you know what? Nobody cares. You know, we just gonna throw the ball, run the ball. Whoever score, whoever gets the touchdown is whoever get it. We just gonna have fun this year, but we want to win. But I don't think they came into this game thinking they had a plan or a number one on the passing game or whatever the case. They just gonna go out there and play ball, and that's what it looked like Sunday. And for the Arizona Cardinals, man, to not capitalize on it early, Kyler looked so good, man. I was like, Kyler's back. And like I said, my boy Greg Dortch, he was getting them targets. And hey, man, maybe it's a size thing. You know, him and Greg Dortch like the same size, bro. They might sleep same bunk beds or something. Man. I don't know. They might be stepbrothers, you know. Michael Wilson got a touchdown, I think. But the Marv thing, bro, is the biggest takeaway from this game, man. I just don't see how the generational talent of Marvin Harrison, man, the top 7, 8 receiver, sometimes 5 in Dynasty, man, just didn't get enough love, bro. And I know it's only week 1. We got a long way to go. But this defense was the one that you supposed to capitalize on more than anything. I just knew Marv was going to go out there and have a big game. So it didn't look good. And for this not to be a divisional team, so it's not like it's a rival where they know each other and they play each other every year. This is a team that they should have easily capitalized on with their playmakers, and they dropped the ball on this one big time. Some people got the Cardinals winning their division, and losing games like this, bro, it ain't no way they're gonna win that division losing games like this. So, yeah, I don't know about this game, man, for the Cardinals, bro.
This Cardinals team ain't gonna win diddly squat this year. I mean,
Listen,
there was some games, but like I was definitely, not that I said they were going to win the division, but I definitely, I took some odds at plus, I think it was 1,300 to win the division, because them are odds. Them are nice odds.
Yeah,
Cardinals aren't the Panthers, and the Panthers had plus 1,300 odds to win the South, and that says more about the divisions than anything. But the Cardinals aren't a bad roster. Now they're going to be back home this week, and FanDuel has them as 1.5 favorites at home to the Rams, which I think is wrong. Let's put that out there. I think that's wrong. Yeah. The Rams are a better football team.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm Puka, man. That Puka, man. We're gonna get to that game later, bro. My heart is still broken, brother.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we done with the Cardinals, bro. The red birds are the dead birds at this point, brother. So look, y'all, I don't know if y'all know about this, right? We're gonna bring it in now, Cody. You might as well, right? Get it out the way. We, for our fantasy people, man, we got a segment called Cook Up, man. You getting cooked up if you got cooked up. So we got players and Patriots sent us their scores, biggest blowouts. Even if you lost, you want to, show that you got beat and got your ass kicked really bad. Send them in, man, if you win the Patreon, though. So we're going to get to this first score right here. Let's bring it up, Cody. What you think? Let me see. This is Maddie, right? Maddie, hold on. How you blocking out the ad names? Come on, bro. I should take this one down, brother. What's up with this, Maddie, man?
I'm pulling this thing up over here on Discord. Look at the team and stuff. And he straight up blanked this guy's name out. We got to roast you. Get this off the screen.
Yeah, Maddie. Come on.
We gotta put these people on blast.
Bro, come on, Maddie,
because when you guys send us in your scores and you're getting beat by 70, we want to roast you. And
that's what I'm saying, Maddie. And listen, hold on. Who was the guy? Ricky Too Much. Next time you play Maddie, if you beat him by 80, don't block his name out, man. Keep his name on there. We need to make sure you get your get back, brother. I ain't feeling that one, Maddie, man. We gotta move on to the next one. Okay, this is mine. I didn't know I put this up here for a second. Okay, cool. The A-Chain, man. I had to drop them gems on you, brother. It was a great week for your boy this week, man. So I don't know if you knew you was gonna be on here, but you on here, man. East Coast versus West Coast, your boy's number one team, man. That's how I had to do
walking right there.
Oh yeah, man. I had to get busy this weekend, brother. Let's see what else we got. What we got here? Mike, of course, Mike wins, man. Mike, man, I don't know what Mike be doing in his leagues, man. He's a cheater, man.
That ain't enough gasoline, son. Like 236. We need to get two. I mean, I want to see a double up. I want to see somebody send us some double ups here.
I mean, he beat him by 106. He played a guy named The Bad, and he was bad. So I don't know, man. Mike, man, we gotta watch you, brother. He go Mike again, man. Okay, let me see.
That's a nice win.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's a good
Miles.
one. That's
That's a hell of a team. I wonder if he's got Miles Sanders on that roster still.
So assume we gonna dig into some rosters, man. We gotta get through all the teams, but one day we gonna get through these rosters, man. Let me see. DB.
Ooh.
And I think was DB the one? No, I don't think DB uploaded his own team getting smashed like this, right?
I think he posted one on here. Yeah, he posted up 2 of them. One of them he won, one of them he got dog walked in. This was the one he got dog walked in.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, at least okay, there we go. Oh, damn. Miami Sharks, huh? Wait, oh, is that EV? I think that's EV right there, right? Eric, yeah, Eagles fan 1. Come on, E. What's up with that, brother? Did you have Willie Beeman on your team? We need Willie Beeman on your team, bro. Come on now. Okay, EV got his get back. Okay. What we got here? 100. I think
that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
That's the highest scoring blowout right there, right?
Scott Fishbowl double up right there. That's what we call that one.
Is that the highest one?
I think so. Well, I mean, this is a Scott Fishbowl scoring is a little bit different, but I think overall, all the scores we got so far, I think McNutt scored 236.
Okay. No, I'm saying the biggest blowout though. I think that's the
biggest. Yeah.
That's the biggest blowout, man. I want to make sure we keep the highlight on the biggest blowout that we got. We're gonna upload a couple more, man. And I think EV right now is leading, man, with the scoring. Okay, Schumer, I see you on here. Let me see.
That's a nice dub. That's a strong
good one. That's a good one, bro. South America's team, huh? Okay. All right. What about North America, brother? Come on now. Okay. All right. It's looking close, man. What's this?
That's a dub right there.
That's 130 or 129-ish. So between Team Shockwave and EV's score, which one was it? Right here. I think EV got this one, right?
127. What was the other one? 129?
I think it was 129.
So that guy got it. Shockwave's up.
Yeah, he got it by that percentage, I think. Yep. 130. Yep. All right, Shockwave, man. Hey, these are the ones I pulled out of the good old Patreon, man. If you a South Harmon Patreon, man, you get your love on the show. We're gonna keep this up for a quick second, man. Shockwave 360. Shout out my boy, man. He did his thing this week. We'll see what happened next week, though, man. So whoever you played, get them to join the good old Patreon. Drop your scores in, bro, and get overcooked like these dudes did this week, man. What we got next on the menu, Cody? Is it the Titans and the Bears?
We can make this one quick, man.
Yeah,
this was bad.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
This was bad. I mean, people know my fandom for Will Levis, and that first half looked good. That first half was nice. This team was efficient. Tony Pollard looking sick. Tyjae Spears, the utilization was not quite there that people expected. People expected this to be a 50-50 split. I don't really know where that rumor came from. But the idea of Pollard being in like a similar Zeke Pollard situation, but being the Zeke of the situation, if that makes sense, back in Dallas, was kind of where I lent. And I got a ton of Pollard and during the draft process. And I felt good about it. I didn't feel great about it because I was nervous about Tyjae Spears, but I go back to the conversations that we've had on multiple shows in dynasty contexts of Tyjae Spears being this guy has no ACL. Mm-hmm. And we knew we were going to get 1 to 2 good years of Tyjae Spears, but that a team would never press him for usage. He was never going to be pressed on a weekly basis to see north of 12 to 15 touches. He just won't be. He's a very gadgety, very efficient rusher and receiver out of the backfield. And if the game isn't scripted towards that, if Tennessee doesn't get down and need to be in kind of a open the playbook up, pass the ball in the backfield type of a situation, I'm not sure that the Spears output's really going to be there on a weekly basis to have true standalone value. The Pollard stuff was sick, though. I loved seeing Pollard average 5 yards per carry. Ridley wasn't going to have a good week anyway because of Jalen Johnson, who's a top 6 cornerback in football right now.
Yep.
Biggest takeaway from this whole game. 1, Caleb Williams still isn't ready. It's the same thing we saw in the preseason. He wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. He's not ready. It's going to take a few more weeks to get ready. The inefficiency to his main 2. which was key. Well, I mean, you could really lump it as the main three. 23 targets to Moore, Allen, and Adunze. 23 of 29 targets were to these three guys. 10 receptions. 10 for 23 to those three guys. And just to the main two, 19 targets, 9 for 19, 65 yards. Not good. The efficiency needs to increase. He needs to quit getting out of the pocket. And the problem with that, and just saying quit getting out of the pocket, stay in the pocket, and utilize his pocket passing ability, is that the Bears' offensive line is not great. And Tennessee was able to create havoc. And of course, having Jeffrey Simmons and Devondre Sweat up the middle is going to be part of that. But we know that the guard center situation in Chicago right now is not great. The right guard and center situation. So in games where he's not going to have that pressure up the middle, I'd love to see him stand in the pocket and make some of those throws. Now, this week against Houston, I think Houston's like almost a touchdown favorite at home to these guys. I'm not sure kind of what that looks like. I think Houston's probably a little below. I think they're a little below the halfway point in pass rushing grades in week 1. Yeah, they're 25th in pass rush. So, and most of that's going to come off the edge from Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter anyway. So it'll be a different plan of attack from Houston than it was from Tennessee in week 1, but I think it'll still be a similar kind of outcome. And now with Adunze not being in there, it's going to be interesting. It should continue to the target distribution should continue to go to Keenan Allen and DeAndre Moore, even more heavy now with Adunze missing time. What do you think of this whole situation? And then I'd like to hear your thoughts on DeAndre Swift too.
Well, bro, I've been preaching get rid of DeAndre Swift if you have him. I don't trust him. Khalil Herbert's price in fantasy or dynasty was just so low that consistently I don't trust the price on Swift over Herbert. So I think at some point, man, they're gonna get this offense together. And I think Swift just had a bad game because of this offense just wasn't good. I'm still not the biggest fan of Swift, but the offense just wasn't good as a whole. And I feel like Caleb, honestly, he went up against a tough defense, bro. It wasn't like this was a cakewalk, It wasn't the easiest game that he could have started out with. I do believe, though, this Texans game was going to be a lot better for him. The defensive side of the Texans wasn't the best this week, and C.J. Stroud putting up points should make, or attempting to put up points against the Chicago defense should make Caleb have to go out there and be more efficient. So I think the first game played out because Will Levis didn't move the needle and make them have to step their game up. But if C.J. Stroud really go out there and put up 29 points like he did this week or 30 plus, it's going to be tough against the Bears defense. I'm not saying he automatic to do it, but CJ go out there and put up 14-0. Caleb going to have to grow up today, like he going to have to, it ain't no more baby steps. It's time to open up this offense and get it cooking. So, overall, though, I want to say I feel like I slept on Tony Pollard, but I did say Tony Pollard is from Memphis and he's at home. He comfortable. They signed him. They paid him the money. They clearly want him to be the main dog in this offense. I just had a little bit of hope for Spears, man. I like Spears, and hopefully at some point he'll get back into catching a lot of passes and doing what he do on the offensive side. But Calvin Ridley, nothing. Did D-Hop play? Because I know he wasn't listed as question. He was listed questionable, but I saw that he was actually active, but I didn't see him do anything on the field. So
yeah, he caught one ball. I think it was like a mid-out route.
Yeah, okay. And Chig caught a touchdown. So, I mean, Will Levis, man, this game says it all. Will Levis threw that pick and was on his knees and holding his head, bro. That literally was the explanation of this game, bro. That pick six that Will Levis threw towards the end of the game was pretty much just the blueprint to this game. Yeah, like if you had to put a picture up, it's like the when you post a video and they say what's the picture you want to show, that's the Will Levis one on his kneecaps, bro. That was pretty much the logo for this game, man. So it wasn't pretty on either side. I hate that Rome got hurt. And I think next week though, man, we should expect a better Caleb, man, with CJ making him step his game up a little bit.
Sunday Night Football, man. He's gonna be on an island. He's gonna be out there having to. I mean, this is where you kind of make your name, is in these rookie season in these games. So we'll see. In Houston, this is a good Houston football team, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is the pamper is off, man. It's time to grow up, bro. Big boy draws will be worn on Sunday, brother.
I listen to Michael Lombardi quite a bit, and he said yesterday on his pod, I think the best way to phrase the Chicago Bears roster, and this is going to sound bad, but he said this is a Madden team. This is a Madden team. They're not built to punch you in the mouth. They're not built on the interior, on the offense or defensive lines, and they're not built for Chicago. They're built for Madden. Which is messed up, but it's true if you think about it. You think about Caleb, Demo, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, these guys on Madden, pretty sick.
Yeah.
But you think about them in the snow in December and November.
Bro, listen, I keep saying I don't think they might not make the playoffs the first 4 years of Caleb's career, bro.
I think you look at that division.
Look at that division, man. It ain't no cakewalk to winning that division, let alone making the playoffs, bro. It's gonna be tough, man.
I think the Packers finish with a better record if they play Malik all season than the Bears.
Damn, that's tough, Cody. I don't know, bro. I'm drinking and I don't know if I can agree with that one, bro. I like that take though, but I feel like, man, it's gonna be tough for the Bears to actually win that division, man. Honestly, and Jordan Love got his contract, he ain't going nowhere. Goff got his contract, he ain't going nowhere. I do believe that this Minnesota team, regardless of who's starting at quarterback, they can still win those games, man. So it's not like they got the easiest division with the best quarterback for this last generation or however you want to call it. So, we'll see what we get out of Chicago, man, this year. But I think Sunday night, man, the Hanes boxer briefs fresh out the pack out of Target, bro, will be worn. That them Ninja Turtle draws, Caleb can hang up, bro, on this one, though, man. And look, we got late switch, man. ATM hit me up, man. We gonna avoid this score, but he had the biggest blowout.
What kind of fugazi is this? This a 4-man league with toddlers or what?
I think he let his daughter draft the team, man. I don't know, man. This is crazy right here, ATM, man. It was a late submission. I don't know. Should we avoid it, man? Ask the chat, man. I don't know, man.
No, kind of late. He's late.
Yeah. We going this for bragging rights, but you avoided out of this conversation.
Is this what he sent you? He sent you over this BS roster right here?
Yeah. He talking about, man, check your message.
Did he send you the full? Did he send you the full lineup, or he just send you the screenshot?
No. Yeah. He sent me the whole lineup. Let me see.
Pop that whole damn line. I want to see the kid. We need a lineup when we see a roster like that. I want to see if this is like.
You're right.
This guy flexed in all punters, or
no.
He says this smells fishy. That's what I'm saying right here.
ATM, man, they playing with you, bro. What
ATM
you got going
all
on,
quarterbacks
man?
against all punters or something.
Hey, look, and shout out, man. We got 418 eyes right now, man. Listen, we appreciate everybody that's here, bro. It feel good, like I said, once again, to be here in the morning, man. First thing people get to see, check out, or I don't want to be the first person you see, but I'm just saying, I'm glad that you here. Me and my boy Cody, man. We here, man. So we got this good old. Let me see. I'm trying to get this ATM one. It said, look, it's the team must be so good. It's telling me that the load up. There we go. All right, hold on. You knocked out the server. Let's see what we got, man. All right. How you zoom this thing in? Let me see.
You got Josh Allen for 35, Devon Achane for 24, Kamara for 23, Kupp for 34, Tyreek Hill for 30, AJ Brown for 20. Yeah, what the hell is this roster? Noah Fant for 4, Diggs for 21, Jones for 19, Connor for 19, Ford for 19, Hall for 18, and A-Rich in the super flex for 35. This is a roster, brother.
But it's not an imaginary roster. Like, he at least went up against a solid team. I mean, other than Dirty.
This is a bot. I mean, this guy's name is Roster Bader. What rip man may never die. Motherfucker started Quentin Johnston, Darius Slayton, Tyler Boyd, Zach Charbonnet, Jordan Akins, DJ Dallas in the flex.
Man.
DeMario Douglas in the super flex.
ATM met somebody playing Grand Theft Auto, man, and asked me to join the league, man. That's it. He said, listen, I'm going to either kill you on Grand Theft or you can join my league and play me this week, man. That's what it looked like my boy did.
Oh, my Lord, brother.
ATM, man, I don't know, bro. I see why you ain't upload that in the chat, man. We might not have pulled that one up, bro. So,
I can tell this guy had the one-on-one because he got Caleb, and this team is garbage. And this guy definitely,
who is this guy, man? Hey, Adam, man, who is this guy, man? I want to give him one free month of at least a $5 tier in the Patreon, man. The brother needs help, man. So we're going to get him some help. And, that was a wild take right there, man. But we gonna get to the next game, man. I think I'm feeling Patriots and Bengals right now. How you feeling, Cody?
I'm feeling like Joe Burrow let us all down again in week 1. Like this is a Joe Burrow special. Every single year it feels like. I mean, Burrow, and I don't blame him entirely. I like this team is. This is an interesting situation because they didn't even try to run the football. I mean, Zach Moss had 9 carries, average 5 yards per carry, scored a touchdown. Chase Brown didn't hardly touch the football. Joe Burrow had more carries than he did. They pushed this thing out to Chase. Of course, they had no T. Higgins, but missing T. Higgins isn't going to make you lose to the Patriots.
Not at all.
And like the one thing we did know about the Patriots was that the defense was going to be all right. We knew the defense was going to be adequate. And from a run defense perspective on PFF, Patriots was 21st and in week 1. And Cincinnati basically, almost called them Charlotte. Cincinnati basically just decided we're not going to run. They were second in tackling, and the Patriots were 8th in pass rush. In coverage, they were 7th. And they just kept pushing the ball out there, and Chase caught 6 for 6. Like, they could have targeted him more. I understand that, time of possession wasn't really in their favor. New England had the ball 9 minutes more than they did. This game was just kind of confusing to me. And as someone who bet Patriots plus 8.5 this last week because I thought they would cover, I did not think the Patriots could win in Cincinnati. I thought they would cover for sure because the matchup, it just made sense with Christian Gonzalez getting a one-on-one with the number 1 wide receiver. It was going to make it harder on these guys, but I did not think Cincinnati was just going to get sort of blanked. 13-0, midway through the third quarter, essentially blanked. They scored with a minute left in the third quarter. New England really doesn't have anything. Like, Ramondre Stevenson had 1 less rushing yard than the team had passing. So I don't know what to take away from this thing. Like, in totality, I talked about my power rankings earlier. I still have Cincinnati in the wild card tier. Like, I still think they're going to be fine. T. Higgins comes back. Jamar Chase, that situation, he gets healthy, he gets paid, whatever the hell. I think the Bengals are fine. But, I think this is a game, Fizz, that for me is like, it's like a under the rug. You just kind of throw this one under the rug after it happened. Like, not that it's phase, not that it's bullshit, but that it's just like, this isn't going to happen more than 4 times out of 10, 3 times out of 10, Patriots might win this matchup, right? Maybe 3. Yeah. And this just happened to be one of them. And week 6, they come back and run this thing back. Cincinnati beats them by 10. Week 10, they come back and play it. Cincinnati probably beats them by 10. Week 17, they come back and play it. Cincinnati probably beats them by like 2 touchdowns. Like, but it just happened to be right now. And like, yeah, I mean, 6 rings knows. Like, Christian Gonzalez is lockdown. Like, there's some bias there. I see the Patriots, logo. I see Jerry Mayo in your picture and shit, but there's a little bias there. But I mean, the Patriots are fine with Christian Gonzalez, and the defense is respectable. The offense is a 0. Like, this is kind of an under the rug for me, though.
Nah, for sure. And I feel like you said, bro, if they played a series like they do in basketball, the Bengals will 100% win, but it might not. The Patriots might not win another game. This was just one of those, one of those. We had too much going on in the offseason. Jamar Chase playing, double dutch. Should he jump in? Should he jump out? It was just too much going on in Cincinnati. I'm not the biggest Cincinnati fan, but I will say the Patriots defense is legit. And I do believe as long as the score is what it turned out to be this year, in this game, they're going to continue to keep revving up Ramondre Stevenson, letting whoever is playing at quarterback, they don't have to throw the ball a lot. We're going to dink and dunk. Literally, we're going to be what Tom Brady was, but literally 2% milk of that. I know Tom was the GOAT. I ain't never questioned him, but Tom had a lot of dink and dunk years too, where the defense was so good he ain't have to do much. He just had to check out in the playoffs and show up. So I like the Patriots, man, for what I know that they can do, and for what I know they can do is play defense, run the ball, be mistake free, because Brissett isn't a turnover guy. And they're going to win some sneaky games this year. I honestly believe they're going to beat the teams that they shouldn't beat, and they're going to lose to the teams that they probably should beat. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those team riding high. We can beat them, and we're going to end up losing to the Patriots. So Not much to really speak on about the team, but go ahead, Cody. I know you got something to speak on.
No, I didn't really. I was just going to ask, and I was just going to say, unfortunately, we do not get the Northeast matchup between the Patriots and the Steelers because we don't get that this year unless they both make the playoffs and play in round one, which would be
that would have been we betting the unders on that one, right? We
unders. I mean, they probably put that. I don't know if you could legally put a number low enough to make us
24,
24. I mean, honestly, I was kind of thinking like Patriots probably don't score in that game. Steelers probably score like 12.
Damn. Yeah, but it's believable though. It's believable though, right? Yeah, we ain't gonna spend too much time on those guys, man. Let's get to this. I see my brother in the chat, man. We're gonna give him a little bit of love. Let's get to the Jaguars and the Dolphins, man. I know Tyreek had that big issue earlier, man. I saw the video. Wild situation. I guess footage came out so quick. I know the NFL said we had to see it. When they put it out, you know, we saw Calais Campbell, man, of all people, he's dude like 6'8". You know, that whole situation.
Man of the year.
Yeah, man. It was, like I said, man, it's a lot you could speak on about it, but we're gonna keep the football side of things. And what you think as far as the game go, man? What's your take? I know Matty was real high on the Jaguars, and he stamped that the Jaguars gonna go out there and do the thing. In the first half, it looked like that. I was like, man, Matty on it today. And ultimately, the Dolphins came back and did what they were supposed to do. So, what's your take on this game?
I thought this was a good game. I thought it was a little underwhelming for a little while from a Dolphins perspective, but
for sure,
given the pre-game situation, it made sense that this team maybe didn't have their mind or their brain in the game to begin with, and it was just a matter of time before Tyreek got nasty, and we obviously saw that in the second half with the 80-yard touchdown. I mean, it's just like give him one opportunity and it's there.
Just one time, brother.
One time, and you saw the output. I mean, Tua threw for 340 yards in this game. Yeah. And like you could poll people and you'd be like, hey, you know, I mean, if you just poll 100 random fans and said, hey, who I don't know, did he lead the league in passing? I should probably know that off script right now. I feel like he was second.
Who are you talking about?
Tua.
With 230, he led the league with that.
No, 340.
Oh no,
he was. He led the league. He beat Patty Mack by 50.
Okay. Yeah.
So. And he beat Patty Mack by 47 yards. He beat Matthew Stafford by 21. If that's what I was saying, though, is if you polled 100 fans, I don't know if 20 of them would say Tua led the NFL in passing this week. I don't know if they would contextualize that with how this game went, because this game was kind of it was a shit game. It was in the toilet. And then but the fact, and this is what I'm getting to, is like my takeaway, my thought here is the explosivity that Miami brings to the table. And like literally essentially a half of football, they just went nuclear. Waddle had a 63-yarder. Hill had an 80-yarder. Devon Achane, of course, had 7 for 7 in the receiving game. This team didn't do much of anything in the running game. And I mean, I was impressed with Miami's second half. I was impressed with Jacksonville in totality. Tank Bigsby took a big step forward. I saw him at training camp a couple weeks ago, and I love Tank Bigsby. I loved him coming out of Auburn. He runs super hard, and he had a fumbling issue last year, and he had a fumbling issue in the preseason. He had a fumbling issue at that practice I went to, and I was just like, man, can this guy fucking hold the football? He did. He averaged 6 yards per carry, and
he looked good.
They split 50-50 the rushing attempts between Tank and Etienne, and if they do this the rest of the year, it's going to nuke Travis Etienne. It's going to nuke him big, and it's going to create value for Tank Bigsby. Yeah. Standalone flexibility in fantasy. I'm not quite sure it's going to get to that level because the backfield work, catching the ball in the backfield is probably not going to be something Tank's going to do at all. So you're going to need a touchdown to really equate to anything in fantasy football other than these, 12 for 70. Like that's 7 fantasy points. It's not enough to, bark about. But underwhelming. Christian Kirk thought he was going to be more focal in the target game. Brian Thomas got after it earlier than I expected. I expected some deep work based on what I saw at the training camp this summer. I mean, he got after it. I mean, he's ready to be the number one. It looks like.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse or anything, but the way they featured him was more than what I saw, more than what we've heard. And 4 for 4, 47 yards and a touchdown in week 1 is one of the more impressive rookie performances of the week, and tells me they're probably going to feature him a little bit more. Remember, there was also a play where Ramsey pretty much took advantage of him, and I don't want to say the R word, but he pretty much, dogged him in the end zone down there.
Yeah, for sure.
And that had an opportunity to make this thing go 5 for 70, 5 for 80, and 2 touchdowns, which would have been ultra sick. So I think there's much more room for Brian Thomas to grow in this offense. It was fine. Again, it was an underwhelming game in totality, but also, what the fuck's up with Jalen Wright being inactive?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. The Miami offense as a whole, bro, the first half just looked like they weren't there. It looked like, and they was in Miami, so it wasn't. I mean, both teams was in Florida, so it wasn't like they was out of town and had to drive or fly nowhere. But I don't know. Maybe it was the Tyreek thing and the whole vibe. Maybe they came into the locker room just frustrated and trying to figure out what happened. Because if you look at how they played in that first half, bro, it was like, is this the Dolphins? Like, what's going on here? So. I know the Jaguars didn't waste no time. They just kind of ran out of time. Like that second half, they just kind of like, what do we do? But that second half for the Dolphins, to me, man, really showed us what this team is going to be going forward. That Tyreek Hill touchdown was pretty much as a stamp on what he is and what he can do. But my biggest takeaway from this game is the running game. I know Achane looked good, but he only had like 33 yards. And I think as a whole, totally. I don't have the stat on me, but total, I want to say that the whole team had like under 60 yards rushing or something, like total from all running backs. And it was just wild to see, thinking, like you just said, Jalen Wright not active, Raheem Mostert, the touchdown phenom from last year, like big play Achane, you were just waiting to see something come from the run game, and nothing came. So my biggest take to me is Brian Thomas looking like that number one dog. And the Miami Dolphins pretty much just taking the break in the beginning, but hopefully getting back. And maybe the run game suffered because they were down 17-0 in the first half and had to come back, or 17-3, whatever the score was at the time. But I think they get things back in order. I just want to see them get the run game a little bit more. And I know you said something about Brian Thomas not getting that extra touchdown. We didn't speak on this earlier, but I definitely meant to bring up how Anthony Richardson overthrew A.D. Mitchell, bro, so many times. Oh my God. A.D. Mitchell should have had like 2 touchdowns and 160 yards or something, man. Like, I know we on a different game, but I had to bring that up because we didn't touch on that. And man, we was robbed of A.D. Mitchell points this weekend, brother. Like, serious. Rich, man, he had a hell of a throw. That throw where he slid on his foot and threw the ball 70 yards down the field, like that was a crazy throw. But you got a little, we know you cooking, brother, but turn the knob down just a little bit, man. You overthrew AD 2 times, man, on some wide open plays that could have been big for that win, man. So I had to bring that back up because it just clicked with me when you said missed out touchdowns. And anything else before we close out on this game?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, I just the running back thing you brought up was interesting. 59 rushing yards for the running backs,
under 60,
and 86 receiving yards for the running backs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think maybe they was just playing catch up, and they was just like, look, we got to get back in the league. But for you to have Mostert, who led the league in touchdowns last year, and Achane, who's a boom bust, 90-yard play away from just getting the ball in his hand, we should see more than 59 yards rushing from the whole backfield. So let's move on, man, to this overhyped team right now, who my team is going to shut down this week. Let's get to the Panthers and the Saints, man. Panthers and the Saints, bro. It's been a lot of talk about Derek Carr, man. Derek Carr, he looked good, man. He's so good. He's the best Carr on the lot right now. Like, that's all I keep hearing, bro. So what's your feeling on the Saints before we just totally skip over the Panthers? Because we don't have much to tell you about them. So how you feeling about them Saints, man? Are they marching in?
I think my number one takeaway here is we should have been drafting more Rashid Shaheed.
Thank you.
More of it. And yeah, let's
you
move
hear that,
on.
Mike? Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, Olave, we should have been drafting less, right? I feel like the connection with Herman Carr, bro, is just not there, and I'm not sure why. And like I said earlier, that they play Dallas this week, and I know the hype has been 47 points. Derek Carr looks so good. Let's see what they do against a real defense, man. I think Trayvon Diggs is going to be a problem for Olave. Um, we ain't getting into next week, but I just really think, man, the hype on this game for them blowing out the Panthers. Okay, cool. That sounds good. So, all you Derek Carr guys, man, whatever, if you can sell them high, bro. That's all I'm trying to get. I'm trying to warn you now, give you a heads up. So, you ain't speaking on the Panthers. You done with them, man.
I ain't talking about none of this shit. I ain't
Good.
talking
All
about
right, well, hey, look, if you in Carolina, man, we sorry, bro, but we gonna move on from this.
I'm in Carolina. I'm in fucking South Carolina. Like I don't want no part of this shit. Like good riddance. This team is fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
This
But can we admit a lot of some? I ain't gonna say a lot of it. Some of it is they didn't play Bryce in the preseason, like he was some seasoned veteran from back in the days. Man, why didn't he get any reps in the preseason, bro? This is essentially his first action on the field as a starter this year, and that was crazy against the New Orleans Saints defense. Come on, bro. It wasn't like I was playing the Giants or something, who we about to touch on next, but you're going against a division rival, and you ain't let Bryce touch the ball the whole offseason. That don't make no sense, man.
I didn't think this was going to happen. First off, I didn't think New Orleans was going to be able to do this, but we've seen New Orleans do this before. Time of possession, they just crushed them. Running the ball, nothing.
Yeah, it was
absolutely nothing.
It was an embarrassment, man.
There's even like Carolina has requisite outside talent. Like Thielen's 35, but Thielen's still a good receiver. Deontay Johnson is still a good receiver, despite him not being an alpha. Leggett and Mingo combined to be, if you could morph those guys into one body, you'd be very happy with what you could get out of them. And they had 12 targets, 6 receptions, 75 yards. It just wasn't explosive enough, and it wasn't efficient and effective enough. But having no run game, no defense, and no quarterback play at all,
it was terrible, bro.
You can't. Everyone says establishing the run is for donks, but you have to establish a little bit of the run. Like Kamara established the run for New Orleans, which is not something he generally does. Right? He's more efficient out of the backfield than he is running the football. But New Orleans understood that they could run the ball on these guys, so they did it, and that enabled them to throw a 60-yard bomb to Rashid Shaheed, do a number of other things, get up in this game. And Carolina, I mean,
even Jamal Williams scored, bro. It was just like
that's what I'm saying, brother. Like we're in the, and I'm like, bro, when you see Jamal Williams out there and he is dustier than, I love Jamal Williams. He's a good dude, but like, come on. So look at the Carolina schedule. Bro. Find me a W here. Home against the Chargers. Nope.
Ew.
At Las Vegas. That's going to be a good game. Vegas probably beats them at Vegas. I take Vegas.
Yeah, I will give it to Vegas.
You come back home, you get the Bengals.
Ew.
At Chicago.
Ew. I mean, so do they have the number one pick? Let's just say it now, bro. They got the number one pick 2025, right?
Falcons, Commanders, Broncos, Saints. This isn't actually two of that. The second half is brutal, but the first half actually, it's not that bad of a schedule.
I mean, but they just as bad as a team that the schedule doesn't really matter at this point, right? I mean, I think they can get it together, man. I just think it's going to have to come with a win first, and then they get some confidence, bro. Again, confidence is key to me, man, when it comes to the quarterback. And I feel like Bryce, he just looked like he don't even look like he belongs. Remember that game last year when Mac Jones was on the sideline, and I think it was in London. He was on the sideline crying, bro. That's when I knew it was done. Mac Jones is over with. And when you don't show your quarterback that you believe in him or you boost his confidence up, bro, it's just like, this is your leader. So if you don't believe in the leader, what are we doing here? So I don't see no good things. I'm booking Carolina as the number one overall pick, man. It's solidified for me.
Where is Shadur going? Is Shadur going to the Giants, the Panthers?
Knowing Prime, he ain't gonna let him go to the Panthers, bro. He is not gonna allow that at all. I don't see it, man. The Giants, maybe, but he ain't letting them go to Carolina, bro. I don't see it.
I think it's the Giants or the Raiders. But
I honestly think the Raiders is the better has a better chance. I think the Raiders is the team that will even trade up in front of the Giants to make it happen. Like I think they got the team that they have right now, and the coach that they have, knowing that he might not have a long time to have a coaching job. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to get this team together. So I'm if I had to put my money on it, I'm gonna say the Oakland Raiders for sure.
I like that. I like that. You
So
want to talk about the worst team?
Oh, you said the worst team? Oh, you talking about the Giants?
The Giants.
You talking about the Giants, bro? I mean, hey, I don't know where my Giants fans at, brother, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. I said it, man. I've been saying it all summer. Sam Darnold is here, Playboy. Sam Darnold, man. Hey, Maddie. Hey, Cody, how you feeling, bro? Sam Darnold, man.
I'm feeling good. I tell you what, like, I will say, like, not living in Minnesota anymore. I'm definitely not inebriated with all the BS, which is around the fans, which is nice because you get so sucked into that. And it's like, you know how it is hearing fans and stuff. But
yeah,
they all like wanted JJ to start week 1. They thought JJ was the starter and all this bullshit. And it was like he was never the starter. He was never going to be the week 1 guy. He was never getting the reps in practice to be the number 1. He was purely the number 2 working with he wasn't working with Addison or Jefferson at all in team drills in training camp. It was always Darnold. And it made too much sense for O'Connell to be in this situation with Darnold, a top 10 pick, and bring him along. And like he wasn't otherworldly, but he was pretty otherworldly for the first half. I mean, his passer rating was perfect for the first half until that, interception. But I don't know what to make of this Viking roster. Like, I'm more worried about the defense than I was the offense. The defense looked pretty damn good. And
I mean, they did play Daniel Jones, but they did look good though.
But that's what I'm saying is like you have to do this against these teams. You have to look good against the shit teams, and to look good against the shit team.
You do.
I guess it's like a team. It's another team that like I really don't know. We're gonna learn more, I think, on Sunday this week against the Niners. I mean, they're 7-point home dogs to the 49ers, which they should be.
I think they can compete with the Niners, though, bro. I really believe that.
And that'll be the true test, right? If that's a touchdown game, like that's a good place for the Vikings to be.
I believe with the offense that they have, and again, I'm high on coaching, bro. That's the only reason I believe in Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold was in Carolina again, no, I don't trust him, at all. Like I wouldn't trust him over Bryce Young at this point, or Bryce over him. But in Minnesota, man, like I always say, Sam never had a chance with a team like this. This offense, this coaching, this scheme. Man, I like Sam Darnold this year, bro. And I really believe he's going to make it hard for them to all of a sudden let him walk and say, we're going to trust JJ to take over and coming from a leg injury. They might have to because maybe the pick, but I believe Sam's going to make it really hard for this Minnesota Vikings team to just in the offseason just say, man, do we let you walk? Like, what do we do? I like y'all odds next week, but this game in particular, I felt like was a statement game. And like you just said, when you play a team like the Giants, this is what you're supposed to do. It shouldn't be no back and forth, shouldn't be no question. Like, we are the better team, and I'm gonna show y'all we the better team. And that's what the Vikings did, man. I know Addison got hurt. He had an ankle injury. Who caught the touchdown? Was it Oliver, I think, caught a touchdown? I'm not sure.
Jalen Naylor.
Oh, Naylor. Okay, Naylor was a hot pickup, was the third receiver once, and now Addison's hurt, I'm guessing, for a couple of weeks. I think Oliver did. I know Johnny Munt didn't do much. I want to say Oliver scored, but because they had 28 points, so I'm pretty sure one of them scored. But Aaron Jones looked good. Ty Chandler looked competent, like he can be a good filler in whenever they need him. I like the offense, man. I don't have anything. I'm gonna let you speak on this because I know you a Malik Neighbors guy, so I'm gonna give you the floor, brother. Malik Neighbors, I'm off the Vikings right now. I don't have nothing to say about the Giants. I'm gonna give you the floor. Malik Neighbors, do your thing, Playboy.
I mean, this was first off, the touchdowns were Aaron Jones, Jefferson, Naylor, and then they had that pick six where he caught the ball in the end zone, Van Ginkel. That's how the touchdowns dispersed. Oliver was 2 for 27. Munt was 2 for 15. Sucked.
Facts.
I agree with you though on the Chandler thing. Chandler too as well. Chandler had 42 all-purpose yards. I actually took the over on that one. I think it was like 34 and a half
Okay.
all-purpose. I love that shit. But on the Giants side, I wanted to see neighbors and I wanted to see this backfield. And not that I like Singletary at all. I more so was in line with like Eric Gray, Tyron Tracy, finding out which one of these guys you could suck value out of. The answer is neither. The answer is neither. And it's going to be like that, I think, all season. Why did Wan'Dale Robinson have 12 targets and not Malik Neighbors? I think that's the number one question you have to ask yourself.
I don't care if he double team. You throw it to Malik Neighbors, bro.
Don't care. Don't care. There was nobody on Minnesota's defensive backfield good enough to stop Malik Neighbors if you give him those 50-50 opportunities. There's this did you see that new commercial? Maybe it wasn't a commercial, but it was an ad on Twitter about this new Aaron Rodgers series called Enigma on Netflix.
Yep.
So this is a Neighbors conversation right here. Is that when he talked about a 20% pass, a 90% pass, an 80% pass, and a 50% pass, when he knew a 50% pass on a fade to the end zone was a 50% pass for everybody else, but when you added it to be James Jones over the last decade in Green Bay, you could add 20% to it. So it wasn't a 50% pass to James Jones, it was a 70% pass to James Jones. That is the Malik Neighbors difference. Those opportunities are not 50% passes to Malik Neighbors. Those are 70% opportunities to Malik Neighbors. And if people listening along that are maybe like, what the fuck is he talking about? Go look up the Aaron Rodgers Enigma it's a show on Netflix called Enigma.
Is it out already?
I think it comes out like in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But there's a trailer, and the trailer perfectly examples this. And if you go listen to it, you'll hear him talk about James Jones being a plus 20% guy in contested situations. Neighbors can do that. And the other problem is that Daniel Jones is just kind of I think he's kind of broken. Like we talk about Mac Jones being broken. Bryce Young feels like he's about to be broken.
Broken, bro.
Shit, Levis might be close to broken. I don't know.
Listen, when them puzzle pieces get to falling off them quarterbacks, bro, when you got to lift up the couch and the cushions to find the other pieces to put them back together, they go missing, man. And a lot of quarterbacks, bro, in this league right now are broken. And it's not their fault. A lot of times it's just the coaching, the offense, the scheme. They said the fans stayed later just to boo Daniel Jones out of the building.
I did see that.
It don't get no worse than that, bro. Like when that happens, you broken, bro. It's nothing. It's no fixing that. There's no fixing that, man. I'm sorry.
That is pretty.
There's no fixing that, bro. I don't care what they do. They might even win next week. Fans still gonna boo Daniel Jones because he ain't gonna win it. He ain't gonna win good. It's gonna look ugly, Like they're still not gonna like the win. I just think he's broken, man. You can add him to the list of broken quarterbacks.
I think the stat was, I'm trying to pull it up right now on Next Gen, but I'm very slow, or my computer's really slow. But I think the number was Malik Neighbors had a 3.8 yards of average separation this week, and it was like third or fourth in the NFL. I wish I could find it. My computer's just acting very not great right now, but you get the point. Like the point is he creates separation. He needs more opportunities. He needs more targets. Wan'Dale obviously works in those short areas. That's why he had 6 for 44, 12 targets. Like not saying it's a zero, but it's essentially a zero. There's no big playability coming from throwing the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson underneath, and they need to push that football. But again, it takes time to push the football. And when you look at how the Giants pass blocking has represented the last couple of years, it hasn't been great. They were middle of the league in week 1. They were bottom quarter of the league. They were actually last in rush blocking. Overall, they were bottom quarter, like 24th overall, but last in run blocking, 20th in pass blocking, like just not great output. And that's like, again, you're broken. Not that you're broken. That's a bad way of saying it.
Mentally, man.
Mentally, you can get broken in the situation.
Even Malik Neighbors didn't give him a sign of faith. I think he said a comment like, I don't know what they doing back there. Like, pretty much, he didn't call Daniel Jones out by name, but he pretty much said, look, behind that line of scrimmage, I don't know what's back there. I mean, that lets you know right there, a guy that just got signed as the future of the team and, the go-to. If he don't believe in the guy that's giving him the ball, man, it's a wrap.
We got a question here from George. He says, hello, I have Joe Mixon and wanted to back him up. Who's the backup I should get? DP or Cam Akers? And would you drop a Dunze or Josh Downs half PPR?
I'm not dropping a Doomsday at all, brother. But I'm a Cam Akers guy. I'm a little biased, man. So
I
I'm
think I'd take Cam and drop Downs too.
yeah, yeah.
We'll take some more questions tonight on the hurdle. We'll take some more.
Yeah.
Later
I'm sorry.
aspects.
I saw some. I had a couple of fantasy trade questions. I ain't want to get on those because we got a lot of stuff to speak on. But we do got other shows for all your
Yep.
fantasy dynasty trade questions. And we'll get to them, but we trying to just cover everything, all the news, all the updates, and what's going on, man. Keep y'all awake and alive while y'all at work. Hopefully, you don't get fired while you listen to us, but
Hopefully you do, and you can watch more. This kid.
Yeah, look, we gonna go to the next game, and it wasn't the best game, but I guess it was a game. Oh, you know what? No, my fault. This game wasn't that bad. We're gonna go to the Raiders and the Chargers next. I had another game, but we're gonna go to this one. Raiders and the Chargers. First of all, I just want to say shout out my boy J.K. motherfucking Dobbins, baby. That's my dog right there, man. I'm so glad my boy is back. I'm not sure for how long, but as long as them legs work now, we're gonna stand on them. So J.K. Dobbins, man, Lad McConkey. Yeah, man. I like what I saw. It was a slow-paced game in the beginning. I thought the Chargers was going to be done for. I was like, man, this is the Chargers offense that I've been hearing about, and moving the ball. And that second half, they really woke up. So I love what I saw out of the Chargers offense when they finally got it together and figured it out. But they did what we knew they was going to do and depend on that run game. And J.K. Dobbins literally let Gus Edwards know, and Vidal and everybody else in that building, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? This is who we had in Baltimore. He just couldn't stay healthy. So it's not really he got cut because he wasn't good. It's just the health factor. So him being with his old OC and him saying, hey, I know who you are because I drafted you. I was there in the building when we drafted you. So shout out JK, shout out Lad, and Herbert didn't look too bad either, man. So I like that take. The Raiders, Brock Bowers. Hey, Brock Bowers look good, man. He is as advertised, especially for them to only have 10 points and not many yards. I mean, the best he could do is what he did. So shout out to Brock Bowers. He definitely looks elite on that offense. Everybody else, though, I don't know. It's a little shaky over there, but we expected that. Wasn't nothing new or nothing as a surprise. But I just want to shout out J.K. Dobbins, man. That's my boy, and I'm glad he's here. What's your take on this game, Cody?
Number one, Alexander Madison kind of built himself some standalone value. I know you can't chase touchdowns, but this guy had 12 fantasy points this week and 4 receptions out of the backfield on 6 targets. You have to pay attention to that.
So Cody, before you speak, has it always felt like Zamir White can be replaced at any time as far as fantasy goes? Not replaced, but I mean, like, is he the clear one when we got a Madison doing what he did, right? Like,
yeah,
Zamir,
Madison's not great. That's the thing. It's like Madison's good enough.
He's not at all. But I just don't trust Zamir White. I'm just saying for his price tag, right? For where he's going in drafts, a lot of times, I feel like at any week, bro, Madison can have more points than him, or Lob, or whoever they have in that offense can just outscore him for no reason. I'm not even saying Madison is good. I just don't trust Zamir to do what Josh Jacobs is going to do in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what I was saying. Like, Zamir White being a trustworthy starter in my offense at the running back position, I don't trust it at all, man, on a week-to-week basis.
I'll agree with that. I think you could probably say the same thing about Dobbins to a certain extent, though. Like, Dobbins busted out a couple big runs, but Gus had more carries in the game. And I don't think Madison's good enough to really, hurt him long-term, hurt Zamir long-term. I think the Zamir's backfield, but seeing Lob be inactive pissed me off.
That was a head scratcher right there, bro.
Big head scratcher, because what we had heard was like Lob was looking better than Madison. And I had this worry in the back of my mind. Like, Madison's not bad. Madison's a good RB2. It was just when he was in Minnesota, he was forced into the RB1 role, and he's just not that.
Him.
He's just not that. It's like like Chuba and Miles Sanders. Like, those guys aren't ones, they're twos. So when they're forced into one role, their output doesn't look the same. I think he's creating some standalone value. He'll be an interesting fantasy addition I think this week. Like, what did I say? 12 fantasy points. It was actually 16 fantasy points. Like, it's interesting for Madison. The dispersion in Las Vegas was something I didn't expect. I did not expect Bowers to have a good game, fine game. I guess you'd say fine. Adams had a fine game. Myers had a fine game. None of them, went above and beyond. So that was all right. The biggest takeaway might have been Quentin Johnston showing signs of life, Josh Palmer doing nothing, and Ladd McConkey being from day one the peer. It's gonna sound like, but it's like it's the pure Edelman role. Like that's what it is.
That slot position, bro. That slot position, man, is always key to me when it comes to quarterback trust.
Yeah.
He's not a big play guy. He's not on the outside. When you play in the slot, that means the quarterback is going to trust you the most because you the guy who, when the pressure's on, you cutting across that middle or you somewhere playing against a linebacker, you can beat your guy. The other guys is playing against these top defenders, and it's harder for them to get open. So anybody in that slot, man, especially for fantasy, bro, I'm a slot receiver guy. And I feel like Ladd pretty much established day one that, hey, Justin Herbert, whenever you need a guy that you can find open, trust me. So I do like that. But I do like that QJ got a heartbeat, man. I thought he was on the ventilator system and it looked like he ain't just eating applesauce and potatoes for dinner, bro. It looked like he could eat a steak, man. I know Cody a steak guy, man. It looked like QJ could eat a steak, man. I don't know if it's 12 ounces, but he can eat a steak though, bro.
You little petite 4-ounce tenderloin.
He can get one. Not from the old country buffet either, man. He can get a nice little red lobster one. We get one of them things. You got anything else to speak on about this game though, bro? It wasn't a lot to really talk about, really. But I like Brock Bowers on the other side of the field. Yeah. Other than that, I think Devontae Adams gonna ask God. He's gonna get up out of here, man.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the Jets here in a minute, but I always thought that's where they were going to go. I always thought Adams was, that always made the most sense, but maybe they found some cat in Allen Lazard. We got to talk about that shit here in a minute, though.
Bro, listen, I bet saying, man, get Lazard in your best ball league because Aaron Rodgers going to do something crazy like trust Lazard for no reason, right? But we going to get to that game. We going to get on this good old Bo Nix, Broncos and Seattle game. Man, I was real disappointed in Geno, though, bro. I really thought Geno was going to go out there and light it up, establish that he is the QB1 of this team, and Sam Howell is here for no reason. And he was real questionable, man. I felt like this is a Ken Walker game. It wasn't really a Geno Smith takeover. And without Ken Walker, man, he might have lost the game, honestly. Walker carried this game on his back so much that he ended up getting hurt. It was an abdominal thing, and I think he had abdominal surgery before, so hopefully that doesn't linger. Zach Charbonnet is pretty solid too, but yeah, man, my take on Seattle honestly was Geno he underperformed, bro. I felt like without the run game, they would have lost this game, and even with Bo Nix looking like a rookie, he still didn't look so bad that I feel like he can't be okay. Like, Seattle is a good defense. It was a tough place to play. And Geno didn't do much, man. So my biggest take of this game is Ken Walker is that guy on his offense as far as that running game. He established that. And Bo Nix got growing pains, but I don't mind his performance for a guy that we didn't expect much out of anyway for his first game. So I like Ken Walker the most out of this whole performance in this game.
I think so. I love the way he attacks while running the football. Charbonnet catching a touchdown was nice. I think he still is a guy that, even though he got carries, like I'm just not sure on a weekly basis how much I love the idea of a flex of Charbonnet in this offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The receiving game was a pretty big letdown, but I knew it was going to be tough going in against Pat Surtain in this back end in Denver. Maybe the bigger takeaway was like the distribution of targets in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton being obviously number one, which always should have been, but the inefficiency, 4 for 12, not good. Devon Vele, 8 for 8, the rookie out of Utah, 8 for 8, 39 yards. Like, that's pukey. Like, that stat line's pukey as hell.
Yeah.
But there's trust there. And it's interesting because there's no Troy Franklin, obviously. And it's like 8 for 8 with a rookie that's not Troy Franklin. Obviously, Troy Franklin played with Knicks in college. So I understand it's pukey today, but I don't think it's going to be pukey all season. So I think Vele is going to be one you got to keep an eye on the next couple of weeks in your waiver wire. And I know he's probably going to be an addition this week just because people are going to chase those targets and go, oh, he's the number 2. No. But I just want to watch that, keep my eyeballs on it. Javonte, this whole Denver backfield did not look as good as I expected it to look. But I think the biggest takeaway is every year, Fizz, every fucking year, one of the best values in all of fantasy football, 6 for 77, 7 targets. Tyler Lockett.
That's it.
What do we I mean, until he's dead, until he's in a chair, until he's walking off with a walker, you just draft Tyler Lockett and you're fine.
You got to. I mean, Mike spoke about, he got a solo video about this, man. Tyler Lockett was a steal in most of his league drafts. And as much as we want him to leave, bro, he's not going nowhere, man. He's here, you know. I want to see him go to another team, honestly. I thought like he could play, if he went to the Chiefs, let's just say, he can do what they expect Hollywood to do. Probably not on that level because Hollywood is a lot younger, but if they didn't want to pay Hollywood and they wanted to get a cheaper contract with Lockett, which they didn't pay Hollywood a lot though, but I feel like Lockett, man, with the right, I mean, shit, he can go to Green Bay right now. I mean, not Green Bay, the Jets. He can go to the Jets right now, man, and boost Aaron Rodgers up way more than what, you know, we look at him having now. Shit, he can come to Dallas. Man, come on, Lockett, you watching Playboy? Come to Dallas, man. I don't mind you here. I take you over Jalen Tolbert right now, bro. So I don't mind Lockett, man. I love me some Lockett, bro. So I'm with you on that one.
You want to talk about your Cowboys or what?
No, we can. Before we get to that, man, we still got this going on, man. I think we still got this promo thing going on, man, with this good old Manscaped. Promo code SHFF20, man. You know, get your jingles nice and clean, man. Wintertime coming up. I know it's No Shave November, I believe. No Shave November is for the face, though, right? That ain't for inside the boxes, man. So go ahead, get your Manscaped promo code SHFF20 and you know, get you 20% off, man. You know, why not, right? I know you guys. What you got over there, Carl? I know you got one of them. I'm about to order mine this week, bro.
I got the 4.0 and I got the Weed Whacker.
Okay, all right. I know. Mike had the head shaver. He said he broke it the first week he got it, but yeah, you know, that's Mike for you. He probably was drunk. But we gonna get to the next game, man. Make sure y'all check out Manscaped, man. And yeah, the Cowboys is up next, bro. We got 4 more games, so we can go to the Cowboys game, man. And I got my take, so I'm gonna let you start off with it, man. And first of all, shout out, bro. We got 552 right now watching live, bro. Shout out to everybody, man. I just want to keep shouting y'all out because it's the first episode, bro. And I feel like we cooking right now, you know. The people is hungry, man. We gonna cook something up for them. So we appreciate y'all logging in, tapping in with us, man. And Cowboys Brown, Cody, what you got?
Cowboys Browns. I think directly it's the backfield. That was one of the first things I wanted to see was both backfields usages. The Browns absolutely got walked on the offensive line side of things. And we knew that with the tackles being out there was probably going to be a tougher matchup, but there was flashes of consistency out of Jerome Ford. So I like that going forward. On the Dallas side of things, Zeke, you know, having a 10-8 split with Rico, how the game went worries me, just like how this thing unfolded, where down the stretch, it was like, I would have just milked and ran these guys, and they kind of didn't. But neither guy looked bad. Zeke looked fine. So it is what it is. Probably not going to be a guy I'm going to want to play much. I didn't draft either. I drafted Rico a little bit, but not much there. In the receiving game for these guys, I think Coop's connection with Deshaun Watson is going to come around. He had a tough matchup. Coop did himself against Kalen Carson and against Trevon Diggs.
Hey, but boy, Carson looked good, man. He looked good.
Seatbelt.com. That's his website, I think.
Hey, I trust the process in Dallas for the drafting, man. I don't know what else they do, but that drafting, man, they found them guys, man.
He was one of the most maniacal interviews at the combine this year. Not to get too deep into that, but I do have a clip up on Twitter of him talking about locking up Keon Coleman at Florida State. And he's like, I put that seatbelt on him. And he goes like, he didn't do shit against me. And he was chirping. Like, this is during a press conference at the combine. Like, you're trying to sell yourself, right? And he's just like, man, that guy couldn't do nothing. He couldn't do nothing on me. I put him in the seatbelt. And he just kept talking. I go back and look at the stat line, and it was like Keon Coleman, 4 for 90 and 2 touchdowns. And I was like, wait.
Hey,
nah, I was like, wait,
I thought you were about to say 4 for 14 or something.
I was like, we went back and saw that, and I go, wait. Was he talking all that on Keon Coleman? And then
he bugging.
Wait, what? No, but he was nice. But the bigger one, I think, was Brandon Cooks. Cooks is a guy that Byron from Roster Watch went out to the Cowboys camp, and he came back and he goes, man, we know who Lamb is, but Cooks is so clearly number 2. It's not even funny in this team. And so we took a lot of Cooks this year, 7 targets, 4 for 40 and a touchdown in week 1. I mean, this kid's not going to die. He's just going to keep on being him, just like Tyler Lockett, one of the best values in all of fantasy football.
I was just about to say Lockett and Cooks, man. Pick your poison. Pick your poison at this point.
Bingo. But yeah, I mean, I think Cooper might be the one. Like, every year it's annoying to own Cooper, but 9 targets is 9 targets for Cooper, 8 for Judy is very positive. And I don't think Watson's dead. I think a lot of people think Watson's dead, but this was a brutal attack on Cleveland from the Dallas defense and Mike Zimmer. I mean, this was a great week 1 showing. Zimmer was a good coach in Minnesota, but an even better defensive coordinator in his career. And I think he's going to find his spot right here. He's got EK, Eric Kendricks in the middle, DeMarvion Overshone, showing what he could do. And then, of course, this defensive line. I mean, this Dallas defense is going to be a top 5, it feels like, the rest of the season. So I like where Dallas is at. And just because you're a Cowboys fan, I'll tell you, I have the Cowboys back-to-back with the Eagles in my power rankings right now at 5 and 6. So I like them. I like them both a lot. I think I like the Cowboys defense a bit better, though.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, bro, I'm sitting here trying to see.
What if I just you're doing something right now, but what if I lay this up to you right now? I'm just gonna roll this ball down the court and see if you pick it up. How about we send that 2026 third round pick and I don't know, Jalen Tolbert to the Raiders?
For who?
Who you think?
I don't know if that's enough, bro. The Raiders might say, "Nah, hell no, nah, we ain't gonna make y'all look better, man."
Well, look at the damn. I mean, he's got the connection with McCarthy, but I mean, the contract. You can't give up a first for Adams at this stage of the game.
Nah, you can't.
I mean, like, I'm thinking, like, you give him a guy like, you know, they already got with the Gallup situation. Send him like Tolbert. Send him like Jalen Brooks. Someone that's nice. That, I mean, they're receiving core.
At this point, bro, after you sign these contracts, you clearly want to win. Give him a second. Forget the third. I give a second with Tolbert at this point.
I think it'd be nasty. I think if you bring in Adams, like, I don't think he clashes with Lamb's play style at all. I think he'd be great to put Adams on the other side, and then you still got Cooks you can throw in the slot, or Adams. You can throw Adams in the slot for all I care. I mean, that would be sick.
I don't mind Amari Cooper coming back, bro. I really believe that the Browns. I don't believe the Browns really are in the chokehold that they need Coop on the team, because they was literally about to offer him to the 49ers, even though it was to get a receiver like Brandon Ayuk back. But I don't think it's no like, oh, we got to keep Coop here, this is our guy type of thing. He on a 1-year deal anyway.
Yeah.
And Dallas wouldn't have to pay Cooper necessarily. They would, let him go if they had to. So if I had to say a guy, of course, Adams. I just don't know if that one is more plausible, but I would, especially they just signed, not saying Kadarius Toney is anything to talk about, but they got Elijah Moore, Kadarius Toney, Jerry Jeudy. They still got Charles Tillman. I mean, they got receiver. So it's not like if the Raiders replacing Adams is a little harder than the Cleveland Browns replacing Amari Cooper as far as the receiving room that they have. So let's get Coop back in Dallas, bro. He shouldn't have left. We traded him for a 5th round pick, which was even more crazy. But let's get Coop back in the building, man. My take on this, and I've been a Deshaun Watson truther, so I'm a little biased, but he just lost his father 3 days ago, like 4 days ago before the game, right? His father died. Maybe that had a lot to do with his play, you know? Like, I don't think nobody's brought that up yet, that the man just lost his father, you know? Like, that's, I know if I lose my father today, bro, don't expect me on the show on Tuesday, you know? So maybe that had a lot to do with his game on Sunday. And also, man, that Dallas defense was not coming to play. Like, he didn't have no time, man. He couldn't. What was he supposed to do? And what I was sitting here looking at, when you were sitting there talking, I damn sure just forgot it while I was talking. But he played against the Dallas Cowboys, right? Look putrid, terrible. But the man has Jacksonville, the Giants, the Raiders, and Washington as his next 4 games. If you ever was going to believe in Deshaun Watson to come back and show what he can do, bro, it's the next 4 weeks coming up, man. This schedule that he has for these next 4 weeks is no reason why he shouldn't finish as a top 14, 15 quarterback in fantasy, with his offense, the defense, and what he have going on. So my biggest take from this game in particular, though, is of course my boy Jerome Ford, man. He's pushing that narrative of what I said, man. Top running back one. It was a garbage time touchdown, but he at least got it in. And it was a Dallas defense, though, bro. I want to try to keep it fantasy wise, but the defense, man, that boy Eric Kendricks, man. I love Sean Lee, and I had a show last night with the Dynasty Fantasy Keys, and I said, man, Eric Kendricks to me is the leader of this linebacker room. I saw him calling people, telling them where to go. I watched the play where Jerome Ford was running through a gap, and he literally came right in like he knew the play before it was even called. And those are the type of guys that I love in Dallas, man. Eric Kendrick is definitely a steal, and my biggest take, man, I know Mike said that Dak didn't do much. A lot of people are going to look at the stat line and say that. But remember last year when people said that CD wasn't going to have a big year because he started off slow. People forget, though. We played teams like the Jets where the defense scored like 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, bro. When the offense is playing light like how they did against Cleveland, bro, the defense was playing so good. We don't need Dak to throw for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's where the Kellen Moore being out of the system changes the game. Kellen Moore would have made Dak throw for 500 yards, even if we was up 20. That's just what he does. So this week, don't look at Dak as he had a slow week because he didn't have the numbers. The defense played good enough that Dak could just sit down, put his feet up, and let Zeke and whoever else just do what they had to do, bro. So when we play the New Orleans Saints, I'm not sure how that's going to go. But I didn't expect much out of his offense once I saw what the Cleveland Browns offense looked like. I honestly didn't expect much out of his offense after that. So I'm cool with everything that I saw out of my team. And I feel like Deshaun Watson, though, his next 4 weeks, bro, to me, if you're ever going to buy Deshaun Watson, this is the week that you buy him. Because that roster, that schedule that he has coming up with Jacksonville, the Giants, the Raiders, and Washington, bro, if he don't finish the top 15 every single one of them weeks, he's done in this league. So go get Deshaun Watson, man. Bet your money on him. It's time to cook up right now.
Those are must-win games for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. But must win and look good winning, not just by a field goal and it's 17-20. They got to win these games convincingly to show the people that they are really here to play. Like Joe Flacco last year, the way he was playing, he would have beat these next 3 teams by like 2 touchdowns, the way he was throwing that ball. So if Deshaun Watson really want to show that he's him and he's got this guaranteed contract, these next 4 games, bro, he got to win by a touchdown plus every week.
I like it.
Yeah, so I don't want to glaze the Cowboys too much, man. You know, we're going to Super Bowl anyway. So let's move on to the Commanders and the Bucks, man. Commanders and the Bucks. And I hate to say it, man, but J-Day is him, man. I keep trying to tell the people all summer, J-Day all day, baby. I know they didn't look the best as far as the team perspective, but him as a rookie, man, I watched him go out there, and even though they was losing, he was smiling. He got smacked. He got hit one time so hard, I thought he was hurt. He got up, he laughed, he hit the guy on the helmet. Like, he looked like he just playing football. He having fun. And if a guy like that is leading your team, everybody else gonna feed off that energy. And that's why I want people to realize confidence, man. Confidence is key in everything that we do in this world, man. And when I watched Jaden go out there, even after the loss, he was smiling, dapping people up. He probably know they ain't the best roster in the league. He ain't even tripping off the laws. I'm glad I'm here, and I want everybody else around me to feel like we good. We in a good position. So shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. But I put him in the thumbnail, and that boy Baker, man. That boy got to cook. He wasn't baking this week. He was air frying. I don't know what utensil he used in the kitchen this week, but Baker Mayfield still got the keys to the Cleveland Browns Stadium, like he got in that commercial. He brought the groceries in, man. He doing what he want to do, bro. Baker Mayfield, QB1 this week, bro. Can you believe that?
He was flipping patties. That's what he was doing. He was flipping. He was flipping commando patties. That's what they were.
The Krusty Krab patties or something, bro. That boy Baker was baking, man. Listen,
he looked fantastic. I loved every bit of that.
Yes.
Efficiencies to Chris Godwin. I said it in the preseason that when I went to training camp that I would take Godwin straight up, head up in a vacuum over Mike Evans, and I think I might be a little bit wrong on that. Like in totality, I mean, Evans I also said was going to be a dog in the red zone, which we already knew. Maybe the answer is just both. Evans finishes as wide receiver 7 and Godwin finishes as wide receiver 11. And again, it was against the Commanders who are a sieve on defense, but we're going to be able to see this on a weekly basis from Godwin and Evans. I think the bigger note here is the backfield. Bucky Irving getting all this work. Don't overreact to it. Bucky just showed you what he could do, not what he will. Like exactly. This game was completely out of pocket. It was 23-7, third quarter, and they started running Bucky more and more. Yes, Rashad was inefficient in the backfield, but he was 6 for 6 in the passing game, which is what we know he's great at. So no overreaction there for me in Tampa. And in Washington, it was always going to be Daniels versus Caleb for the Rookie of the Year. I think what we saw in week 1 was that Daniels is a clear – he's on to the next chapter. He's a chapter ahead of Caleb. And even though this team looked like shit, Jaden looked fantastic. Jaden maybe didn't raise everybody up. He didn't lift all the boats. He wasn't the tide that lifted all the boats. He was just the tide, and he was up here, and nobody else came with him. He was getting his ass beat, but he was, from a fantasy perspective, a savage. So this game was pretty easy for me. Tampa Bay is a really good football team, very underrated. Washington still needs work on the defensive back end, which we knew, but Daniels is the truth.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this team's probably going to finish with a top 8 pick, top 9 pick, and let's get Travis Hunter in the building, man. Travis Hunter to the good old Commanders, bro. And I could see a guy like Dan Quinn putting him on both sides of the field. Not every play, but just let him play around a little bit, man. He going to find that guy that he going to like. You want to play defense this week? Come on. Like I think a guy like Travis Hunter in Washington, bro, will really set it off for this team, man. So. Let's make that happen, man. I will finally go to that shit stadium if they finally get Travis Hunter, man. I don't mind the toilet water dropping on my head watching this game at this point.
Fuck that. No, I don't know. They need to do.
Yeah, man. We got 2 more games, bro. So we in good time. Rams and Lions, bro. What you think about that game, man? That was a hell of a game. Ah, man, that Puka injury really hurt my feelings, man. So I'm gonna let you start this one off, Cody, because I'm still heartbroken about what happened, bro.
This thing almost unfolded perfectly from every perspective. We got the Montgomery usage in the backfield from a carrying perspective. We got the Jahmyr Gibbs stay in the pocket on carries, 10, 11 carries, get that work out of the backfield in receptions and targets. We got the Laporta game. I guess you'd call it the Laporta game. Like when they have a good game, Laporta's just stagnant, 4 for 45, 5 for 65, whatever. Good game. We got the JMO breakout. Hell yeah. But then we got nothing from Monra, which was heartbreaking. Nothing from Monra on 6 targets was a little deflating. I don't think that's going to obviously stick. On the other side, Kyron showed enough, a little inefficient. Corum getting nothing was a little interesting. I did the little Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme gif out there when he's standing on the carpet looking like, where the hell's everybody at? Like that was Corum the whole first half. He's like, yo, I thought we was playing football today. Nope, we're playing Waterboy. That's what we're doing today.
That's what he's doing.
Cooper Kupp. Best value in all of fantasy football this year in drafts. Best 100%. Value in all of fantasy football in 2024.
The Kupp for Coop, man. Kupp for Coop.
Kupp, yes. Bingo. And then the Puka thing. The Puka thing, I was never Team Puka was going to lead this team in targets, be better than Kupp. I was more Team Puka is going to be a competent number 2. And I think you saw that out of Tyler Johnson's usage and Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson they like, but I think Puka would have been just fine if he would have stayed healthy. The injury just is a little buggy, but hey, shout out to Stafford though for finishing second in passing yards this week.
My biggest thing was I felt like Puka was going to be the number 1 because they was going to let Coop take a back seat for later on in the season. I always felt like Puka, they was going to let you, the young legs, do your thing, bro. So I always loved Puka this year, man. That was my guy. It really hurt my feelings when he got hurt. And my biggest take of this game really is the Rams still look great, even though they lost the game. And David Montgomery is still one of those guys that y'all need to look at. So I know Cody short for time. We're going to get out of here in about 3 more minutes. But Jameson Williams, salute to you, brother. We ain't expect much out of you, man. So I got to get him before we move on for the next game. So J-Mo, shout out to J-Mo, man. He did his thing this week, man. And we gonna definitely show you some more love, man. So before we get up out of here, Cody, Jets and the 49ers, give us your take, bro.
Jets and the 49ers. First off, I feel terrible for Jordan Mason and how the media dealt with that last night. Mad respect for Jordan Mason. Very ineffective rusher in college from an athleticism standpoint, an efficiency standpoint. I think he might have averaged 6 yards per carry at Georgia Tech, but it's a run-based offense. Did not expect much out of Jordan Mason coming in. Shout out to you, Kip. Appreciate you. Jordan Mason had one of the best games, like best situational, contextual games we will ever see in football. Maybe that's can be taken a little overreaction type, but it was really cool to see a guy come up behind McCaffrey day of whatever it was, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter when he got told he was going to do it. A guy of that talent level to come in and do that and look as improved as he has. Like, that's not quite on the Pacheco raise. Like, Pacheco, you knew he had some, he ran a 4.39. Pacheco had this dirt nasty about him. Jordan Mason was like, this guy's probably going to be on the roster for like a year. He's probably going to be out of the league. He ain't going to do shit. He stuck through it. Year 3, week 1, $147. Like, that's got to be, one of the ultimates. So big shout out to Jordan Mason here. All around in San Fran, good game, other than Brandon Ayuk. I mean, this is why you go to training camp, man. That was a very tough catch to have in the corner of the end zone. Very tough ball to catch. Fucking amazing throw by Brock Purdy. But come on, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, that's why you go to training camp right there. That's a $30 million catch. That's what that is.
That's what we paid you for. Yep. We paid you for that catch, bro.
And it would have been a bigger deal had this game been closer. The other takeaway is purely Breece Hall maybe should have been the 101. I like Bijan. Everyone liked McCaffrey. Breece Hall might have been the guy that should have been 101. I know he didn't go nuclear last night, but the efficiency in his run game and the pass catching, I mean, that might have been the 101. Garrett Wilson might crush fantasy football. And maybe the biggest whiff of all of the offseason was I can't remember who the hell it was, but I got to find it this week. Somebody that said Alan Lazard was going to get cut. That person needs to lose their job.
That's Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers is the reason why Lazard would never get cut, bro. He's the reason why he's there. So as long as Aaron Rodgers is there, Lazard is there. It's not. Yep. I would never question that. I would question more why he's even there than why if he's getting cut. But I know my biggest take on this whole game is, like you said, Breece Hall to me RB1. Clear. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there, air the ball out the whole game. They're going to trust his offense and run the ball. And it was a good game, man. Jordan Mason did his thing. And whenever they need a guy, Kyle Shanahan will find that guy, man. So we always going to trust coaching. We always going to do our thing. And Cody, man, look, we had a good show, bro. I know you got to head out, man. We appreciate everybody here. We got 596 eyes. Hopefully we got 596 likes. And you know how we do this thing, Cody, man. The cook up is back, baby. So first, we're back. Look up.
Got the hook up.
Me and Cody in the building about to cook up, baby. Hey, we out of this thing, man. Cody out of here. Fizzle, I'm out of here. And you know how we do. Whole time Cody hold it up. I don't even got the damn thing up here. I know you gotta go, bro. You know how we get down, baby. Cook up.